Hello, streaming to you live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is sunny Saturday, March 24th, March 14th, 2026. Episode number 223 and day number 334 wearing the X39. And today I'm going to increase the difficulty with the fitness stress test that I'm doing. And I'm going to debrief a little bit about what happened last week, and then talk about a few different subjects today and things that I'm observing around the world. And stick around if you want to tune in. So, the fitness test that I've been doing last week, I finally surpassed the goal of reaching 250 skips in 68 seconds. And I attribute that success with implementing the use of the incredible X49, which you see here. This one here is the one that I put on yesterday, or last Saturday. And I'm putting it on again today to see how this goes with regards to increasing the difficulty. Because in today's test, I'm going to go from 221 beats per minute to 224 beats per minute. So that equates to an increase in the, I've written it here, revolutions from 3.6765 to 3.7313 revolutions per second. And that speed is, it might not seem like much, but when you start to think about the rate in which the intensity has an effect on your body in terms of its performance, lactic and buildup of lactic acid inside the body, it accumulates faster. So the faster you go, the faster it accumulates. And last week, when I was performing the test, I did 2 attempts. The first one I was mediocre, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to give up, and I'm just going to take a few minutes to rest, and that's what I did. And I drank a little bit more of the Turing-free 114 degree molecular bond angle water, and I did it in the second attempt. But what I found interesting is that I mentioned that I wouldn't count any numbers, and that was true until I got to the very end of that second attempt. Then I started to count them. I thought, okay, I'm just going to keep going. And when I watched the replay, then I realized that I didn't need to do that, because I had reached 250 skips in the time that I had allotted for myself, and I did more than that at the higher intensity. And what it revealed to me is that the use of the X49 does have a strong influence on my body, meaning the AHK peptide that it activates. And earlier this week, I talked about the amino acids that are necessary for the AHK peptide to form inside the body. And when it combines with copper, that's when the real power happens. It's no different than what the X49 does, but this triggers a different peptide, which is the GHK peptide in the body, which also needs 3 amino acids, and when it combines with copper, then it becomes the GHK-Cu, and that's where the therapeutic effects come from it when it comes to healing the body. The AHK is the, if you want to call it, the sibling, or the smaller peptide that assists the GHK and helps with that. So when you hear people talking about, eating protein, well, there's a reason for it, because it's about the amino acids. But if you combine those amino acids with that copper, and then you add the spark to trigger the formation of those peptides inside the body, then guess what happens? You start to reap the benefits from that spark that you provide. So the question is, are you getting that spark? And if you are working a lot of night shifts, you're not getting that spark. No. And that's what makes this unique, because it's a tool that you can have fit into any lifestyle. You don't need to be spending extra time, if you want to say, for this to happen. Just stick it on like a band-aid, as you see here, and go on about your day. So is it easy to make it habitual? Of course it is. Yes. But you have to pay for it, because the body needs a combination of things, which I've talked about before. And I will continue to talk about what the body needs. So, am I trying to teach you something? Of course I am. Because I'm trying to lead by example by saying, hey, okay, it's one thing to take this, and it's another thing to apply this, and what can you do with it when you do this? When you incorporate it into your lifestyle, can you reap some benefits? The answer is yes. Now, I'll also use a third one, which is this guy, which is triggering the process of glutathione production in the body. And it also needs 3 amino acids. Now, in addition to that, you must ensure that you are drinking good water. If you're drinking tap water with fluoride in it and chlorine, you're putting yourself in a state of disadvantage, because that fluoride is going to act as a suppressor, because it's all chemistry in the body. And if you know anything about amino acids, you know that there's certain components. You have carbon, you have hydrogen, you have oxygen, you have nitrogen, and maybe a few other molecules. So your body's going to take those and rearrange them inside. That's what a peptide is. So are there ways that you can manipulate that? Yeah. One of those ways is poisoning the water. Is it going to have an effect on you? Yeah. And think about fluoridated toothpaste. Do you think your gums are not going to absorb that fluoride from the water or from the toothpaste? It adds up over time. Why do you think that when I say I am as real as a heart attack, that is it just a fluke that I keep hitting heart rates that are so high that I should be flatlining on the concrete behind me? Is it? I ask you this question. Is it fake? No. Because I have demonstrated that this heart rate monitor reads accurately. So when it's going over 200, when my ticker is going over 200, I'm exercising it. Do you exercise your heart? Can it keep up with what you're putting it through, the paces? Are you making good choices to help sustain your longevity? Everything adds up. So yesterday I wake up and I could feel a little bit of a headache developing. So I thought, okay, what's causing this? Was the barometric pressure changing? It was. So my body was in a state where it was trying to cope, and it was having a little bit of difficulty. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna try this pinch of salt trick. So I took one pinch of salt, let it dissolve in my mouth, let my saliva dissolve it. Swoosh the saliva around my gums, let the minerals from the salt absorb directly into my bloodstream. And then I noticed after, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, I noticed an improvement. So what did I do? I went to grab a second pinch of salt. Did the same thing. And some time passes by and I noticed more improvement. So I thought, so I went and I did a third pinch of salt. Let it dissolve in my mouth. Waited another 15 minutes. And before I knew it, that symptom of headache was gone. And I realized, okay, that was my body's way of telling me that you're low on something. So was it magnesium that's in the salt? Or a combination of sodium? And then I just topped it off with a cup of the cleanest and most absorbable, and basically took small sips and swooshed it in my mouth, let my saliva bind with the water, and I can feel it changing the texture of the water. And that is an interesting thing because it tells me that the power of my saliva is really strong. And did it reflect in my performance yesterday? Doing the Feel It Friday? Yeah, I felt good. The workout itself was, I will switch screens here, was quite good. Barometric pressure was, yes, 1014, as you see on the screen there. So overall, the queens were the highest. Oh, sorry, I just realized I have to refresh this screen. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Barometric pressure yesterday was 1020, 1020.08 mbar. And so overall time was 1740. And there was, it was interesting yesterday because when I rewatched the replay, I started doing timestamps and I noticed that 1740 was a time that almost I started the Feel It Friday session. And then I ended up finishing with kind of the same time. So it was just a weird day for numbers and synchronicities. That's why I'm bringing it up, because yesterday was day number 222 and it was day number 333 wearing the X39. And it was Friday the 13th, and then all these numbers, and it's just a little strange for me. And then when I look at the sequence, or how the workout went, the week prior, I finished the time in 16 minutes and 58 seconds, and yesterday was slower, and I attribute that to the amount of skipping that I did. Yesterday was 37% of the workout was skipping, and the week prior was only 33. So, the cards really change the workout from week to week. So it basically creates a little bit of variety, but it forces myself to challenge myself. Now, skipping at a pace of 165 beats per minute, as you see on the metronome scale there. So overall, I did 1,090 skips yesterday. The week prior was only 950, so 100 less, 140 less the week prior. So the amount of time to do those 140 is actually at that pace. It's let me think about it here. So if I'm doing 165 divided by 60 seconds, I'm just going to count, it's 2.75 skips per second. So when you multiply that by so 1090 divided by 2.75, I said. Whoops, darn. So it's 396 seconds versus 9, I said 9, here's the week prior. 950 divided by 2.75, so 300, so 40 seconds. So I said 345, 1090 divided by 2. So 51 seconds difference, which was less, 51 seconds more. So it kind of, when I think about the times here, 16, yeah, so I overall, I would say, it makes sense why 1740. Was I essentially slower overall? Not really, because if I factor in that, just if I were to change the, kind of mimic the sequence, then I can kind of figure out, I guess that's a takeaway for me to see what, how long it takes to do, let's say, maximum 10 seconds, 10 push-ups or something like that at a certain pace, because I don't move the same, I don't move at the same pace for a push-up as I do for a skip. So it's really hard to compare, I guess. But I think what I'll do is I'll look at that in future episodes to see what I can do to help that, or to measure it, to see progress, right? Because the time itself, because the variance in the number of reps each week, it's hard to really tell if you're improving or not. So that's why the fitness test that I'm doing kind of takes that variability out, and it keeps it consistent. So if I'm not seeing an improvement in my performance, then I have a more consistent measuring metric from week to week. So that's one of the reasons why I chose to do the fitness stress test, because I can keep it relatively consistent from week to week. And with that, it's been about 20 minutes of talking about different things. Before I begin today's workout, if you haven't experienced the benefits yet, consider doing so, as you see on the screen, by trying it, or clicking on the links that are in the comments. You'll see them there. I also have a link for a vibration plate, so if you're interested in doing vibration training with yours truly 4 days a week, I might toss in a rotational type workout as well. I've been thinking about it. Maybe I might do it today. We'll see. See how I feel at the end of this fitness test. If I get the score that I'm thinking might happen, then maybe I'll do the test if I have the energy to it or for it. So with that, I'm going to turn on the Bluetooth speakers. That way you can hear the metronome. And I've got my trusty Bluetooth temperature down here. I'm going to measure the Huh. The concrete is, wow. Today it's colder, 14.5. So that's 58.1 degrees Fahrenheit. And that equates to 14.6 degrees Celsius. So, and the barometric pressure today, so I have it on record here. Well, B is not this number, so it's actually higher today. And so yesterday it was around this time, Friday. You know, that it was around here, and now it's gone up. So will that affect my performance today? Well, here I'll show you before I go. So today's barometric pressure, that's what it is. I'll just refresh the screen one more time. So I said that the barometric pressure yesterday was around here. I don't remember what time it was up. And today the pressure is higher. So, and will that affect me today? Well, we're going to find out. So I'm going to start with the 9-minute or the 10-minute warm-up. I've got my hat today as well, so well, I'm not going to set that tempo. That's the 224 is going to be. So I'm going to warm up at 165. That's going to be tempo. And I will be using this rope here. This is the Buddy Lee Rope Master. It's an older version of a rope that it's currently offered. You can find the link at unlockourbioenergy.godaddysites.com. And let's begin. So, just going to switch to the timer here. Got the heart rate monitor set, and let's begin. So, when you see the timer, right now it's red. When it switches to the bigger green, that's when I'm going to match the tempo of 165. see. At this point now, I can really start to feel and sense the activation of the AHK peptide. One of the things I like to do to make sure that it happens is to eat foods with sources of copper. And one of those sources of food are eggs. So if you like eating eggs, as I do, it's beneficial. Trying for triple. All right. Just keep an eye on my recovery here. So, for the AHK peptide, this one, you need to have alanine as part of the process. Because alanine forms with two other amino acids. One is histidine, and the last one is lysine, I believe. And when copper is floating around in your body, what do you think happens? Then that AHK peptide forms. And the AHK peptide, the CU peptide, helps increase the electricity inside the body. And so is that one of the other reasons why I was able to successfully complete the fitness stress test last weekend at a pace of 221. Which was this. Today's pace is going to be 224, as you see written on the screen. So, one thing I'm going to do is also wear a hat. And today, this one is for those out there who know where that is. And know who's from there. Saying hello to Melania. So if you're watching, I'm smiling. And I'm feeling the love today. So, this will be helpful for me today because I don't want to be able to read the screen here to see what's going on, largely because I don't want to be distracted by it. So, the rope that I'm going to use is the same one as I used last week, which is this one here with the kink in it, as you see. Okay. I'm just going to switch the screen here. So, there you go. All right. Not sure if it's going to be this way. No, I think the kink was more on the left. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. And the test today is going to be interesting. I'm just going to grab a little bit more water here. And just drink another few sips. My heart rate is recovering quite nicely here. And I wonder if that has to do with eating. I had a little bit of popcorn last night with some olive oil and some salt. I used Redmond real salt, just the basic one, as you see in the previous episodes that I shared. Drills a little some of that on, and then also some cayenne pepper. So you can see how my heart rate climbs up and comes down, climbs up and climbs down. It did just that during the 10-minute HIIT today. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen during this stress test. See what happens when I hide the gray? I look even younger. Yeah. Just checking to see if the temperature kind of increased here. No, still the same. It's cold. Colder today. My goodness. All right. So, still swooshing that water, letting it combine with my saliva. All right. I think I'm ready. So today's attempt, 224, and I need 62. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I need 62 and a half of those sequences to reach 250 skips, matching this tempo. So that's the goal today. Just gonna find a few skips to see. Oh yeah, that's cool. Already, heart rate jumped up. Holding my breath, I'm kind of nervous a little bit. So one of the things I want to do is be relaxed, holding the handles. I don't want to be too aggressive. You can see my shoe. See the white here? I guess doing the tibia exercises is contributing to the to the breaking of my shoe. I do have a new pair here waiting to be put into play. I can smell the peptide, the AHK. I can sense it. And for all those people say, oh, you shouldn't be talking about that. I'm like, no, I know what happens when I get the activation inside my body. Because I sense it every time. So, feels good. All right, I'm relaxed. Let's go. Whew. Wow. Aye, aye. I started counting when it started to hurt. Wow, that's quite the pace. I don't know how many sequences I got. Nor do I know how long it took for my heart rate to get up. I know it's getting close. For a first attempt at this tempo, I think it's pretty good. I will try the dead man hang in addition to the test I just did. Huh. Felt good. I think, I don't know how many I got today. Because 67 seconds is less. It's a shorter period of time to get there. So, but at the faster pace, I'm kind of wondering how much of a difference it makes, you know, one revolution. Can I sustain that? I know I can skip faster. That's definitely for sure. I can skip faster than 224. All right, so the dead bar hang. I'll go this way. Oh, really? Decided to go this way because if I want to do a pull-up to readjust, then I want to be able to do it. All right, there we go. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, spinning. I was going to get maybe another, my grip was holding, but this started moving on me. Oh, whatever. Okay, so I said I'd consider doing some rotational exercises, and I'm going to do some. So I'm going to incorporate the vibration plate, which I like to do. And for the vibration, or for today's workout, I'm going to use this bar where I'm going to attach it here and rotate this way. So I'm going to take, the green bands, I think. I'll start with that today. So and I'm going to utilize the posts on the other side here, which is here. My hands hurt today. Yeah, okay. So there's different ways you can do this. I'm going to incorporate this here. So the band is going to be pulling from, so here, like that. As I'm pulling away, it's going to get both sides of the front and the rear. So that's why I chose to do, see, where's the center? Somewhere here. There, somewhere there. Something like that. So, by taking here and holding tightly, switch like that and twist. I can already feel the oblique. So taking vibration and holding here, so it's kind of it's a good way, because the band is pulling on both directions. I have to tighten with the hand that's pulling the strongest to hold the bar in place. So you can move it. This is a good way to increase the help with the fascia that runs through your entire body. So make sure you hold onto the bar tight if you do explosives. Like here, this is similar to like doing a dip. Another variation. I'd have to increase the tension to be able to push down, but it is kind of interesting. I've kind of done a variation of that before. So now I'm going to isolate only to one side. So meaning we're going to take the vibration plate. I'm going to move it just a little bit more forward here so I can go this way. Yeah. There we go. So there we go. So holding it straight like this, pushing through. I'm actually just going to move it a little bit closer because I want to get full extension rotation. So holding it here, now letting off the tension. It's on the left side. There's still tension on the band here at this position. Wow. I feel the shoulders getting involved. Can make it like a baseball bat, and you involve the grip. And there's there's different things you can do. But all right. Now I'm going to switch to the other side, so I can feel where the medial deltoid and the rear part of the rear delt gets involved, especially holding the bar out front like this. I can certainly feel the difference in between the two sides. Okay. So if you have weak shoulders, this would be a difficult exercise for you to execute. So keep that in mind. So if you're starting out for the first time, you want to use lighter resistance on the band. If you don't have a bar like this, you can be creative. Just get a broomstick and get one of the, you can still use this or an ankle strap and hold it on to the edge. You know, get some non-slip stuff like this. You know, these sheets, put it on. Like, you don't have to be so, say, oh, I need to have this bar to do this exercise. No, you can be creative. There's really no limit to what you can do if you think about being creative. Alright, so next up is the other side. So 3 minutes. Now here, pulling it all the way through. See, I can feel the, because the band is a little bit behind. There we go. I want it just a little more in front. Just need to keep adjusting this a little bit because I can feel that full. Yeah, there we go. The string that's inside the band is at full extension when it's kind of at a certain length, and I can feel it tug. So it's saying, no, you can't stretch the band anymore. Wow. Can feel the glute getting involved a little bit as well. All right. So that exercise was working kind of like the ladder. So now, in order to work the beginning, I'm going to do like that to finish off the sequence. So it's quite a bit of rotational work, but which probably lots for the first time, but it's okay. So just slightly more forward. I want a little bit more tension here. There we go, that's good. Wow. Wow, the shoulders are hurting. You want to try twisting with keep your arm locked in that position and twist with the torso. Don't use the shoulders. It does make this a pretty difficult exercise when you do it that way. Keeping that elbow locked. Alright, so for the next one, for the other side, I'm going to switch this to the other anchor point to make it a little bit more spacious, I guess, if you want to say, because I don't want to hit the post that's here. All right. Today's session is a little bit longer than I'd like it to be, but that's okay. This is going to be the last exercise for today. So again, here you are locking that elbow, locking both elbows. Exploding out. Already I'm fatigued. Now there's more emphasis on the left. Wow. Gosh. lower the angle if you wish, up a little bit to get a little bit different angle. But it removes the effort that you need from the oblique. How much time is left? All right, that's it for today. So, if you like what I delivered on my statement for so let's have a look. Today's timestamp, date stamp. So March 14th, 2026, starting time at 3:11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And there we go. Yeah, it's okay. Maximum heart rate I hit today was, oh yeah, okay. 165. So you can see there where I hit that, I don't know where I hit there, 150, 60, and then gradually was holding 160 something there, and because the way the line kind of curves up slowly. So it's going to be interesting to see when I watch the replay how many sequences I got today. I don't know if I got the 250 skips in the 67 seconds, but one thing I noticed here is how my heart rate yo-yos up and down like a jigsaw. Zing, 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 zing. So, it's obviously very interesting for me to see that, because especially during the high intensity section, or the 10-minute hit that I did today. So goes to show that my heart rate is recovering quite well, and when I kind of force myself to do the work, it's showing, and you see that there. So that's it for today. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Make sure you consider this as tools in your toolbox to help your body naturally create the GHK and the AHK peptides. You got to make sure you're eating the amino acids, and then tie in the copper that you get from your sources. I talk about the sources that I consume regularly, so if you follow along, you'll find out what I share. And if you like this video, please show a thumbs up, comment below, ask me any questions. Don't be afraid. And check out the links that are in the description. You might find something you like. See you on Monday. Bye.